Hi, ladies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexi with Empress Collective, helping you to level up and become the Empress of your life, which is a fully embodied woman. To learn more about my work, I've written 2 books you can find in the links down below, as well as information to my private coaching and my workshops as well. In today's episode, I want to talk about faith, femininity, and purpose because the most common question I get from women on my platforms or in my coaching is, can I be a feminine woman who also works? And I find this is a really ironic question and also really disheartening that the narrative that is being pushed around is that you cannot be feminine and work at the same time. Or if you're a working woman, you're inherently masculine. Or if you're a woman who stays home, you're inherently feminine. And these things are just not true. As women, we operate in the highest form of duality. Actually, Kabbalah talks about this, that we are the light and the vessel. Women, we are the ultimate vessel because we bring life into this world. We are the vessel that brings life from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. So we are master producers. We are master co-creators with God. Women rule the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is connected to creativity, abundance. As a feminine woman, it's really important to be connected to your faith because it is very difficult to operate in the 3D world if you are not connected to the spiritual world. One of the reasons why I believe this narrative has been placed around is because I think a lot of women are exhausted. They're exhausted operating in this 9 to 5 hustle and bustle reality that was really set up for men in the patriarchy. Because men can work on this 24-hour hormonal cycle with no problem. But women, we have 4 different phases of our cycle that we go through in a month. And I wrote about this in my book in the Lover Archetype chapter. And sometimes during our cycles, we will have a lot of energy and drive and ambition. And sometimes during our cycles, we will be more quiet and introspective and more connected to our intuition. And this is the time that we are supposed to be focusing on downloads that we get from our higher self, from God, getting wisdom and knowing what action steps to take when we get our energy back to co-create in the highest, most powerful way. Because as a woman, to really operate in your feminine energy, you have to have a really strong faith in the spiritual world. Faith and femininity coexist together because feminine energy is receptive, right? We need to receive information from source. We need to receive information from God, our higher self, the wisdom that we need in order to move forward, receive what we need in life to feel safe, right? We need to feel safe and secure in our surroundings to be able to connect with our femininity, to connect with our intuition. So faith is a form of receiving because it's allowing yourself to surrender to a higher being, to a higher source, that all is well and all is okay. Because if you're not connected to your faith, and you're trying to be a feminine woman, you're going to be operating in what I call the shadow of the girl, which is anxious behavior. You're going to be trying to control things around you. You're going to be very rigid. And femininity is actually a flexible energy. It's flexible, it's mutable, it's changeable. That's why we have, several moods we kind of go through throughout the month. It's changeable. And it's this energy that no matter what is going on, whatever, waves are kind of rocking, that we are going to be solid, we are going to be receptive, and we are going to be calm and happy. This is the art of femininity. It's not so much about like, what dress you're wearing, but it's actually in how you're moving, how you're utilizing your energy. So you can be a masculine woman and be a stay-at-home mom, and you can be a feminine woman and be a career woman, but it's all about what is the energy that you're moving through. And as women, it's utmost important to take on a job, to take on a role in society, doing something that you love doing, because that is going to give you energy. That is going to give you inspiration. That's going to give you happiness and fulfillment. That's going to help you to radiate brighter as a woman because you are co-creating, connecting with something that brings you life. when you're doing a job that drains you, that you don't like, that you hate going to, you're dreading, you're actually diminishing your feminine energy. You're disassociating from yourself and you're operating in a place of negativity. You're operating in a place of self-loathing in this kind of energy. You're draining your energy. You can't be connected to yourself if you're begrudging your life every day by getting up and doing something that you really just don't want to do. So it's so important for women more than men to have a job that they are co-creating, co-producing with, that touches on their intuition, their creativity, sometimes even their logic. I know a feminine woman who's a millionaire and she's really good at logic and strategy, but she loves doing this. She loves talking about investments. She loves running businesses. And who is anyone to tell her that she's any less of a feminine woman because she is a high producing millionaire woman who loves logic and strategy? You can't tell her that because she's actually operating in her higher self, because she's operating through something that gives her life, something she is naturally good at, and something that she naturally likes to do. And when you're happy, when you're thriving, when you are expanding your energy, that's when you're going to be creating abundance. That's when you're going to be creating opportunities for yourself. That's when you're getting your mind off of scarcity and lack of things and I'm unhappy with my life, because you're so fulfilled living in the moment, creating this really powerful vortex that you're naturally creating and manifesting things around you. That's when you stop worrying about money. That's when you stop worrying about the future, because you're so focused on the present moment and being at one with what you're doing and happy with what you're doing, that you don't even have time or energy or space to think about the negativities going on, right? That's when you also can surrender more fully, because you feel so fulfilled, you feel so energized, you actually sleep better during this time. So it's really important to do something that you love to do. This will actually amplify your feminine energy. And again, women, we are co-creative. We're co-creative beings. To sit idle in life as a woman is not being a feminine woman. That's actually being a woman who's not participating in her own life and her own greatness. When you're not participating in your life and your greatness, and you're not amplifying your talents and what you want to do, you're going to start feeling insecure. You're not going to be happy with yourself. You know, I knew of a girl who had a stepmother who was always envious of her, who was always envious that this girl was following her passions and her dreams. And whenever she would come around her stepmom would feel threatened by her. And I told her that, you know, her stepmom wasn't actualizing her potential, didn't feel like she actualized her potential, didn't feel good about herself. So when she would come around, it would make her feel threatened, because she felt internally like a loser, because she didn't actually go after what she wanted in life. She didn't actually do what she wanted in life. So she felt really bitter. She felt bitter. And being around this woman would remind her of her own failures. So she couldn't be a supportive stepmother or friend or partner, really, because she had so much insecurity within herself, because she felt like she did not live her life to the fullest. And we see this a lot with women who have children really young and they never, you know, make the time for themselves to follow their own dreams or passions. They sacrifice themselves for their children. And then they kind of, as they get older, they forget who they are. You know, we hear this a lot, that I forgot my identity. I didn't know who I was, because they're not connected with themselves. Now, you can be a mother and a working woman, and you can do both and be feminine and empowered, but you have to also give space for rest and rejuvenation. And women, we actually need more rest and rejuvenation than men, right? So a lot of the way that the patriarchy works does not really support a woman with her growth and with her own, you know, being able to um, you know, expand and produce, but also rest at the same time. So one way you can amplify your femininity and be a working woman is, of course, the way you dress and your style and your grooming, wearing feminine colors, wearing feminine prints, wearing styles that complement your body. Femininity is in the way that you move. It's in the way you carry yourself. It's in the way that you're not being aggressive to other people, but being kind yet assertive if you need to be in the workplace or with other people around you. Another way that we can be working women and be feminine is by cultivating emotional intelligence, having empathy and compassion for others, being a safe space for others to come to, you know, not having this kind of like hardened exterior or hardened sense of self that feels really unapproachable. But being a happy, well-rounded woman, being a safe space, being a safe space for people to interact with, right? Men and women feeling like you're open, you're happy, you're receptive, you're approachable. These are like feminine traits that make people likable, right? Another thing you can do to activate your femininity is to master communication, not being afraid to speak your mind. Sometimes people will come to me and be like, how can I communicate in a feminine way? And it's like, be authentic. People love being around authentic people. It makes them feel safe. Stop and listen and reflect before responding. We can tap into our wisdom and our intuition when we kind of take a pause. So to be feminine around other people is not so much about, you know, kind of showcasing as this like bright and beautiful woman only, but it's also about having wisdom to share with others, being an active listener with others, being a soft landing and soft support system for other people to come to as well. Another thing to do that I tell my clients who are high achieving women is to really balance their professional life and their personal life. If you are a woman who has a really kind of logical job, which tends to be a little bit more masculine, like strategy, investments, building businesses and this kind of thing that operates a lot of, mindfulness, really come home to activate your heart space. Let your home be your heart space. Go home and take baths, take bubble baths. I have an Aphrodite bath that I did the exercise with in my book. You can find in my book down below on how to create an Aphrodite bath to amplify your feminine energy. Whenever you're at home or in your personal life, do more feminine things, take more rest, relax, rejuvenate, go to the spa, pamper yourself. Like these are really important things to rejuvenate your energy because women, we have to really rejuvenate our energy so we can show up and, really be our full selves. So find ways to relax and rejuvenate, maybe try baking or cooking. I have a friend, she's, very much like this, like logical, high achieving woman, but she loves to come home and bake and cook cookies. She does a lot of entertaining at the home, which is actually a way to invite in blessings when you open up your home for other people. And this woman is very blessed. So she likes to cook and she creates these beautiful displays of, things that she's baked. And she has this whole kind of setup in her house that like she always makes sure things look so beautiful. So when people come over, like she'll stick flowers in her cupcakes to make it more feminine. Like she's always making sure her space is beautiful and pleasing to the eye and it smells good and it looks good. And this is how she amplifies her feminine energy when she's at home. Another thing you can do to utilize your feminine energy is to be a role model for others, to help others. Giving advice to young women is a way that you can also amplify your feminine energy because you're helping the feminine collective. When we help others, we also in turn help ourselves. And it feels good. It feels good to give advice. It feels good to help another young lady out if she's been struggling with something that you have gone through as well. Women need to be community builders because that's in our nature. So to have a feminine community around you helps to also amplify your feminine energy. Another thing that's really difficult sometimes for women to do because we can be quite emotional is to remain calm under pressure, to master our emotions. This is something really challenging. I know even for myself, I can have the utmost patience with somebody, but if they test me over and over and over again, which has been done before when dealing with people in business, I can definitely lose my temper and lose my emotional control, especially if I feel like I'm being taken advantage of and disrespected. So this is something that really has to be worked on with women is our ability to control our emotions. I think this is probably one of the most difficult thing to do because feminine rage is real. Feminine rage is real. And when we suppress feminine rage, it will manifest in like different kinds of ways. So I think that there's kind of this idea that feminine energy needs to always be this like cool, calm, and collect. Although, yes, for the most part, yes. But there has to be an outlet for you to let out your feminine rage as well. Maybe you let it out through working out, running, activity, dancing. Dancing is really great for activating your feminine energy, finding ways to create an outlet for that feminine rage because we as women, we take on the energy of those around us and then we shed that energy during our cycles, right? So if you're taking on a lot of negative energy around you, it's probably going to be very difficult for you to master your emotions because you're probably going to be letting out a lot of rage whenever you are hormonal. Finding ways to do that in a healthy way is going to really help you to manage your emotions. And most importantly, find your purpose as a woman. What is it that you love to do? What is it that you could do every day and feel happy and satisfied and fulfilled? As women, it is so important for us to find our purpose so we are happy because we cannot be happy and fulfilled in a relationship unless we are happy with ourselves. A man will never fulfill you in the way that you are going to fulfill yourself by honoring what it is that you came here to do, what your mission and purpose is. And that's a big burden and responsibility for somebody to have placed upon them, is that they're responsible for your happiness, because people will always disappoint you. People will always disappoint you, right? So you have to cultivate happiness within yourself in order for you to be an empowered woman. You can go and find a man to take care of you and provide for you, but if you're sitting around idle in life and you're not really doing anything with your energy and with yourself, eventually you're going to start having a bit of a self-loathing attitude. You're going to see people around you, reaching their potential, reaching their dreams. Talent is an aphrodisiac. Talent is something that's really attractive. So when you find people who are talented around you, they've cultivated some kind of talent, they're thriving, and they're attractive to other people, you're going to start feeling like a loser because you're not really doing anything with yourself other than, going shopping on your husband's credit card, right? So eventually it will start catching up to you that you feel like you're not doing anything with your life and with yourself, and you'll start feeling insecure. And a lot of times women in this kind of position will go online and they'll start comparing themselves to other women and their life and what they're doing. And, comparison is the thief of joy. Why not live your life to the fullest? Why not be happy with yourself and what you're doing and stop focusing on what other people are doing, right? Consumption of information online also keeps people stuck. You don't want to be a consumer. You want to be a creator as a woman. A creator as a woman is a powerful woman. You are actively putting out value into the world. You're going to get value back. If you are consuming and consuming and consuming like anything, it's going to overwhelm your mind. It's going to overwhelm your body. It's going to make you feel bad, right? So it's better to be a creator than a consumer. And just because you are a woman who works and goes out there and is ambitious doesn't mean that you're a masculine woman. It does mean, though, that you are connected with your masculine energy. And it's important to balance that with your femininity, which I write about in my book. And there's different archetypes of energy that you want to utilize with men that you don't want to utilize with your career, and vice versa. So mastering life as a woman is not about just being one-dimensional. Women, we are multi-dimensional. We have many facets of ourselves and our personalities. It's about mastering your energy and having the wisdom to know when to utilize each kind of energy, knowing how to respond in each situation, and being connected with yourself and connected with your purpose and connected with God. So I hope y'all liked this video. As always, love to hear from you in the comment section. Please click to subscribe, and I will see you ladies next time.